I'm going back to one of the first places I worked when I came to the U.S. and I have such a good relationship with Dr. Schmidt. She's been one of my longtime friends, and so we're going to hang out with her today and hear about all the exciting work she does with exotic animals in a place like Jackson, Tennessee. So it's pretty rare, pretty unusual, and very exciting. Hey, Dr. Schmidt, it's so good to see you.
You too.
I brought in a little buddy from the rehab center who needs you to check him out.
Oh, our little screech friend.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
All right.
so hopefully you can get a look at him. And one of the things I'm excited about today is this is by far the career that is asked about by my students the most. So everybody initially wants to be a vet. So I'm really excited to hear about what you do day in and day out so that they can get a clearer picture of what that looks like.
You never know from day to day what's going to come through the doors.
So up here in West Tennessee, it kind of strikes me odd that you would run into so many exotics. What are some of the more unusual animals that you've worked on?
Dakota Monday, very strange little creature, and really long claws, real long snout, and not the greatest pets at all. But people keep them. Prairie dogs as well. That's another one. Yeah. And those will bite a lot. They're not so easy to handle.
Do you have some scars from these run-ins?
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
With there being little downtime, we jumped right into surgery.
So we're going to hook him up. We're going to turn the gas and the oxygen on and give him a minute.
As with humans, there are some surgeries that nobody wants to be awake for.
So now we'll get him properly positioned. We try and keep the incisions as small as possible.
My last memory in this room over a decade ago was keeping this monkey's heart pumping for you while you were trying to save its life.
She was pregnant, had been sick for quite a few days by the time they brought her in. And she made it through surgery. There are days when it's not so fun. Some days are just really sad.
I know what you mean. One of the hardest days when I was here was when that python got brought in.
Oh, yeah.
That was sitting in an aquarium about an inch full of water.
Mm-hmm.
And when we picked it up, the skin just fell off.
Slid off,
Just
yeah.
absolute neglect.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those are the days when you leave feeling very angry because the animals have been so poorly managed and taken care of, whether it's a python or whether it's a dog or a cat.
It makes you wonder why have them.
Right.
With his jingle bells removed and stitches put in, this pup was ready to bring in the new year with a lot less to worry about.
All right, you'll wake up a better man.
A different man,
That is, yeah.
Yep, being a vet, you're sure to see your fair share of spaying and neutering, and for good reason too. Among other benefits, our beloved sidekicks can devote more energy towards leading healthier lives when they don't have to worry about a biologically taxing activity like reproduction. But don't worry, it's not just cats and dogs. This pet snake was brought in with a suspected prolapse.
Because the shape is different. So right down the midline here, kind of feeling down the body. I don't feel any lumps. No.
Colic's a little ticklish.
Yeah. As I insert this probe, you can kind of see where the tip is.
Yeah.
Right there. And there's really no resistance, but it's certainly stimulating some contraction. So if an owner sees that, they'll think that's a prolapse. In between the scales to inject, and then it doesn't take terribly long for this particular drug to take effect. So we always put them back in the incubator afterwards because being a cold-blooded creature, if they're too cold, they won't absorb the medication very well. So they need to stay nice and warm.
With a quick stitch to keep everything inside, this little feller was ready to go home. You just never know who you're going to meet next. I was surprised to run into this off-duty park ranger bringing in one of the park's educational snakes. Then there was this proud mama, who had just dropped a litter of cuteness into their owner's laps in time for the holidays. We made sure they were healthy, gave them lots of ear scratches, and got them their essential shots. And while I fell into my old routine like the years had never passed. And right when I didn't think my heart could take any more, the kittens started coming in.
This is why people want to be a vet, right here.
It's hard not to smile when baby animals are being brought in one after another. They are sure to be a bright spot in anyone's workday. We eventually had to say goodbye to our puppy pals, despite me having bonded with them and wanting to take them all home. Because life at a vet never really slows down. And as the afternoon carried on and the patients started to become more varied, we started to see anything from the family duck to an annual checkup for a Great Dane. Then there was this special little schnauzer.
They did bilateral osteotomies to correct and straighten the front legs and then put a lot of hardware in. He's done extremely well and still continues to do his hiking and goes everywhere with his owners. But he is intermittently lame now on his left front. So we're going to take some pictures and see if any of the hardware has moved. You follow these pets from puppyhood until they die. And so some of them I've known for more than 20 years. All right, he looks pretty sleepy.
Wow.
Yeah, this was a
Golly.
big...
Looks like he's been riding rodeo or something.
Yeah, this was a big deal.
Hey, if you keep getting into car engines, you're going to end up looking like that.
That's true. So there's a little, I'm not sure what this metal is right here, whether that's loose or floating.
And after checking up on his hardware, some doggy dentistry was needed to make sure that he was sent home with clean teeth and fresh breath. Not all visits we had that day were as pleasant as playing with puppies and kittens.
Yeah, this one was a rescue, and she had heartworms when she got her, so she had to get treated for that. She was skin and bones, wasn't very well socialized, but she's incredible now. Yes, you are. And her main complaint is a sore bottom. So we're going to turn you around, girl. It's embarrassing, I know. So we're going to have to express this, which she's not going to like, and it's going to be very stinky, and it's probably going to land on the floor. It's all right, Yeti. I'm trying to hurry so I can feel it expressing. And yeah, we're starting to get it on the floor. Okay, we're halfway there. We're halfway there. Oh, yeah, so it's kind of bloody discharge and we're a mess. We're gonna have to, yeah, it's rough, really rough. And the other side is even fuller. So this is gonna be a royal mess because her fur is so long and it's very foul. Which is exactly what she described. So what we've got, I need some scrub, is an infected left anal gland and a very full, yeah, just give me a pile of them, yeah. So we're gonna try and clean that up.
Right after I said that expressing anal glands was the worst.
They'll try and express them themselves by dragging their butts along the floor.
That's what they're doing?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. And after patiently waiting to be seen, it was finally One-Eyed Willie's turn.
One of our favorite breeds of owl because they're so user-friendly.
And you helped Willie when he first came in.
It was hard to evaluate the damage to this right eye because the chamber was so filled with blood that it was hard to see. And when he pulls his third eyelid back, you can see some scar tissue on the surface of the cornea there when that third eyelid gets out of the way. And compare that to this eye. So the wings obviously work just fine. Mm-hmm. And I'm just going to extend it out. And yeah, the feather quality is great. pal. All looks good, little fella. There you go.
This has been an incredible experience, and I know that people watching this are going to really click with some of the things they've seen today. So what would you have to say to them?
It's a commitment, it's a passion, and it needs to be. If you really want to pursue this as a career, it's about relationships, not just with animals, but with people. So you have to really enjoy engaging and communicating with people. And there's not a large number of vet schools across the country compared to medical schools. So it is a competitive field, there's no doubt about it. So focus on not just academics, but extracurricular activities that have to do with animal care and welfare. So Humane Society work, working with rescue organizations, volunteering at wildlife rehab centers. It's all a good experience. It is so rewarding to do this for a career. I have loved pretty much every moment of it. At the end of the day, there are some sad days, there's some frustrating days, but it is an honor and a privilege to take care of God's creatures.
What a great day we've had at the veterinary clinic working with Dr. Schmidt and her crew, and what a valuable service that they provide to the community, to these animals and the people who cherish and love them and want to see them taken care of. So I hope some of you are inspired, and it just goes to show you that you never know what you're going to encounter when you're working on the wild side.
All right, ready to go home.
Who would have guessed vets service such a diversity of animals? What an admirable job to take care of the animals, who in their own special way take care of us. Don't forget to get your pets a Christmas present, and Merry Christmas, y'all.